Hey guys, welcome back to another HTML tutorial. So in this tutorial I'm going to be explaining how to use text fields in HTML. So text fields are like pretty integral. Like without a text field you basically can't make any kind of website. So yeah, it's an important thing to be able to make text fields, and I might also talk about text areas because they're pretty similar. But yeah, so let's just link my script.js as well. And let's defer this. Okay. So the basic text field can be done in a few ways. You can either do input and then just do it the old way. So let's close that off. Oh. So you can even get an input type text, and you know this is exactly what you want. If we reload the page now, where has I haven't saved this. Alright, so yeah, now you can see that there, and let's just get rid of the name because that's not important. We can just call this a text field as the ID, and yeah, let's just open up some style tags just to make this a bit clearer. So here's our text field. You know, you can type stuff in here. Now what we can do is we can increase the width of it. The height is a bit different, I'll get to that later, but yeah. So you can see I can increase the width of it, and if I try and increase the height just like this, it's not gonna, oh okay, it does change. Previously wasn't the case, but yeah, so change the width and height of it, and you can see it's a bit hard to see, so I'm also just gonna add a border around it. Okay, so now we have our text field. Let me also make the background. Right, let's make it a line. Okay, so now you can see the text field really clearly, and yeah, so here is some text. So it's all well and good having a text field in HTML, but we want to actually access that data somehow. So to do that, what we can do is we can actually just do things like have a button as well. Let's just call this text field done, and this is sort of our submit button, and then inside of here we can do something like get both of these objects, so we can get the text field using same thing, get by ID, and we save it by text field, and then let's also get this button. So yeah, obviously we could do it like this, like when the button is clicked, we will retrieve the text from the text field. And what's important to note here is that notice I'm using the inner text and not the inner HTML property. You want to make sure you use inner text because inner HTML is not really going to do anything here. Like there's nothing inside of this, so you want to make sure you use text. Oh sorry, this was wrong. I want to get the value of this. Okay, yeah, I want to get value. Use inner text when you're going to set the value, because this is user generated content, so it could really have anything in here, and whenever you're setting this text value to another object in the div or HTML, you want to make sure you use the inner text value, not the inner HTML, because that avoids things like SQL injection attacks and things. So yeah, now we've got the text, and I'm just going to console.log it for now so you can see we've retrieved it. And yeah, that is one way of retrieving text. Here is some text, click done, and you know we've just retrieved it. So that's alright. I mean, like, there's definitely a better way of doing it though. So the better way of doing it, I believe, is to use a form, and then what we can do is we can just give this form an ID of text field form. And then if we put our things inside here, give this button a type of submit. Okay, so we can just remove this, and okay, now let's just remove all of this stuff. And yeah, now I think there is actually a better way of doing this. So what we can do is we can create some kind of form here, so let's just retrieve this form now, and then we can do form.onSubmit, and we can do the same thing we got here. Okay, why has this given me error? Oh, okay. Okay, so here is some text, and we also want to prevent the reload, so we can do that by just doing e.prevent default, like so. Okay, so now we can do here is some text, and you can see we've got the text, and all we had to do was click enter. So I believe this is actually a better way of doing it. There's not much. Let's actually just check if I can just do it using a text field object directly rather than having to use a form. Okay, here is some text. Okay, yeah, so unfortunately you can't do that, so you need to put it inside a form, but that's not too much work. Like, just wrap your text field inside a form, and then what we can actually do is, you don't actually need this text field ID, but it's just a bit useful, so you can just put this in here, type in like here's some text which will be a username or password, and then click enter, and you can see we've handled it just like that. So that's how to use a text field and retrieve text on enter-click. I also showed you the other option using a button, but that was not as good in my opinion. So this was the better way of doing it. Thanks for watching, and that was how you use a text field in HTML. See you guys in a future tutorial. Bye.